So Phaedra is ignoring Angela's mama. And then Angela drops this gem on us. Phaedra had been acting kind of sketchy. So the check fraud and the VIN number car theft wasn't sketchy, but her avoiding your mama, now that's sketchy. Okay, sis. Okay. They got a day room and they watching BET. You got cable in prison? The fuck? I gotta pay for cable out here, but you got free cable on my dime. Heifer. Oh, she apparently used to sleep with young Jeezy. I don't know what he looks like, though. So now Angela's mother dies while she's in prison. I don't know who gonna take care of them kids, because she got 5 by now. She does say that the people in prison were there for her when her mother died, so at least it seems a little more like a women's camp than, a prison. Now, Phaedra actually does something decent for the heifer. Her mama dies while she's in prison. Phaedra sets up a temporary release so she can go to the funeral. So this heifer gets to Gwinnett County, and before she can get to the funeral, they end up roughing her up because she got bobby pins she ain't supposed to have and don't even make it to her mama funeral. They take her right back to Pulaski County Jail. So while Angela's trying to figure herself out in prison since she realizes her life has gone to shit, she finds out she enjoys writing, and it's very cathartic for her. Well, good. I mean, you're not that good at it, but I'm glad you enjoy it. So now her grandmother dies, but she didn't take it as hard as she took her mother's death. She took her mother's death real hard. And I can understand that, especially because she was watching your children. All right, so this heifer finally out of prison. Her prison time was pretty uneventful. At least she ain't act her ass in there and get more time. But now she's out of prison and life is a struggle. No place to go, nobody really fucking with her, she in a shelter. And Phaedra ain't helping. So now she goes to her parole hearing and she gets arrested again for some old shit. And they like, look, we'll make this go away, but you gonna help us get young Jeezy. So Angela said, you know what, I ain't gonna fuck with young Jeezy. This is my issue. I'm gonna be a woman about it. She begs the judge for mercy and the judge gives it to her. So now she's on federal probation, state probation, and county probation. This girl is just the scamster magnet. So she's not able to get a job. She can't even work as a stripper. Apparently you can't be a felon and pop that puss. But of course she meets somebody who's like, hey, I got somebody who needs a Visa card marriage. We'll give you 15 grand. They give her 5 grand up front. She never get the other 10 grand because, she always gets shafted in her scams. But this 5 grand is the seed money she was able to use to start a new life. So Phaedra said that she was going to represent her at this trial. But of course that shit didn't happen. But the heifer did find a job. So the heifer gets 3 years for the racketeering case that they got her with when she got out of prison, but 3 years probation. Angela gets fired from the good job that she had because she went to jail for forgery and she was working in the personnel office. Ain't that some shit? So she's trying to get this book off the ground, but for some reason now she's trying to rap. Apparently she had some type of local hit because the song was on the radio in Atlanta. It was called Boy Stop. And her rap name is Lady Lennox. I knew none of this. This heifer keep reaching out to Phaedra, and Phaedra keeps giving her Kenya Mama. So while she's trying to be a rapper, she ends up getting raped by her mentor. And she gets him on tape confessing to that. He pays her $35,000 to not press charges, and she uses that money to put out her first book, Life Behind These Walls, which she wrote in prison. Oh my goodness, and there is a video of her performing this song on YouTube. All this shit happened to this heifer before she was 32. She has an eventful ass life. I can't with her. Now, Angela, look up and see Phaedra on TV married to Nigger Nida. And she says, well, ain't this a bitch? Now Angela's seeing Phaedra help some of her other flunkies, and she's like, well, shit. You gonna give him a paralegal job, why not me? And now it dawns on her that Phaedra had intended on using and abusing her the whole time. She realizes I was the fall guy. Well, damn. This heifer said, I've been framed like Roger Rabbit. Now, girl, I wouldn't go that far. I don't see enough ownership in this book. I don't see enough taking responsibility for your own actions. It's a lot of blaming. It's a lot of, oh, this happened, oh, that happened, and that's why. And some of that is true, but there comes a point when you have to say, okay, I'm going to stop. Now this heifer going through all the laws of the Bar Association that Phaedra has broken. Scope of representation, truthfulness in statements, general misconduct, and all around ain't shitness. And that is where the book ends. She really does have an eventful life. I can't wait to see what happens to her over the next 32 years. Well, I'm Alexander Rogers, and I will see you soon for something. So tell a kin, tell a friend, tell that heifer you hate.